In 1998, a Whirlpool top freezer went into a garage in Ohio. It is still running. 28 summers, one door gasket, one defrost timer, and the owner replaced both of them himself on a Saturday afternoon with a screwdriver and a $19 part from a hardware store. Now walk into a big box store today. You spend $2,800 on a French door refrigerator with a touchscreen, an ice dispenser, and a Wi-Fi app. It looks like something off a spaceship. Statistically, that machine is dead in under 5 years. But the price is not the scandal. The scandal is what happens when you try to fix it. Because on the single most common failure in a modern refrigerator, federal law says the repair is not yours to make. Not a warranty rule, not fine print buried in a manual. The Clean Air Act, with civil penalties that run past $44,000 a day. Somebody engineered the fuse. Somebody else built a legal wall around the fuse. I'm Rick Dawson, and we are going after 6 of them. The compressor that got redesigned into a failure point. The 10-year warranty that covers the wrong half of the bill. The federal license sitting on your refrigerant. The flammable gas your repair shop will not touch. The ice maker that argues with physics, and the repair law that walks straight past your kitchen. Number 1, the linear compressor. For 60 years, a refrigerator compressor was a stupid, simple thing. An electric motor spinning a crankshaft, sitting in a bath of oil, inside a welded steel dome bolted to the back of the cabinet. It was loud. It hummed through the kitchen floor at 2 in the morning. It pulled more electricity than anyone wanted to put on a yellow energy label. And it ran for 20 years and more without a service call, because every single rotation threw oil across every moving surface inside it. The lubrication was free. It came with the shape. Then efficiency standards tightened and LG went looking for numbers. What came out of that was the linear compressor. No crankshaft, no rotation at all. A piston driven back and forth in a straight line by a magnetic coil like a syringe. Fewer moving parts, less friction, a better score on the label. And no rotation means nothing is throwing oil anywhere. The entire design now leans on one piston seal holding pressure for 2 decades. LG's own marketing claimed 20-year durability. The warranty said 10. Owners started reporting dead refrigerators at year 3 and year 4, and there have been enough of them that LG settled a nationwide class action covering units manufactured between 2014 and 2017. When that seal lets go, there is no error code and no warning light. There is warm food on a Tuesday morning. And when a compressor fails hard, it can push metal debris out into the sealed copper lines that run through the entire cabinet, which means the replacement compressor inherits a clogged circulatory system and dies the same way. One owner in the litigation reported going through 5 compressors in a single refrigerator. The fridge is totaled. Number 2, the warranty that covers the wrong half. Read the sticker on the showroom floor. 10-year compressor warranty. That sounds like a company standing behind its own engineering, and it is genuinely better than the 1-year coverage sitting on the rest of the box. Now read what it actually pays for. Under the original terms, LG covered the compressor part for 10 years. It covered the labor for year 1. After that, the part showed up free and the invoice did not, which matters because swapping a compressor is not a bolt-on job. A technician has to recover the refrigerant, cut the dead unit out of the copper, braze the new one in, pull a deep vacuum on the system, and recharge it by weight on a scale. That is 3 to 4 hours of skilled work with about $3,000 of equipment in the van. Shops quote between $350 and $550 for the labor alone. So the free part costs you $500 on an $1,800 refrigerator that stopped cooling in year 4. And the service call that told you the compressor was dead in the first place is its own line item, usually $100 to $150, whether or not you agree to the work. That math is not a side effect. It is the exact number that pushes a household toward the appliance aisle instead of the repair van, which is precisely the outcome a 10-year warranty is supposed to prevent. And it took a class action settlement to move it. LG has since extended labor coverage well past that first year on the affected model lines. Nobody mailed you a letter about it. If your model number starts with LFXS, LMXS, LRMVS, or LSXS, that coverage may already be yours, and the phone call to find out is free. Number 3, the federal license on your refrigerant. This is the one the title of this video is about. It is also the one where the manufacturers genuinely did not write the rule. Section 608 of the Clean Air Act says that anyone who could reasonably be expected to break into a refrigerant circuit while servicing an appliance has to hold EPA certification. Connecting a set of gauges counts. Opening the system counts. Buying the refrigerant to put back in counts, and the sales restriction has covered household refrigerants since 2018. For refrigerators, the credential is Type 1. It covers factory-sealed systems holding 5 pounds or less, and knowingly venting refrigerant during a repair is a Clean Air Act violation with civil penalties adjusted past $44,000 per day per violation. The rule exists for a reason that is not stupid. R12 punched a hole in the ozone layer. R134A, the refrigerant in most of the fridges currently plugged in across America, carries roughly 1,430 times the warming power of carbon dioxide. Nobody sane wants a truckload of that vented into a garage in Ohio. But look at what it does to the repair market. Almost every other part of a refrigerator is fair game. The door gasket, the evaporator fan, the water inlet valve, the defrost heater, the control board, all of it can be replaced by a homeowner with a nut driver and a diagram. The sealed system cannot. And the sealed system is exactly where the modern failure lives. It is not only the repair that sits behind the certification either. The diagnosis does too. Confirming a dead compressor means putting a set of gauges on the low side of that circuit and reading the pressure while the unit runs. And the moment you connect those hoses, you are legally a technician. Skip it and everybody is guessing, including the guy in the van. That is the trap, and it is a quiet one. The manufacturers did not lobby the Clean Air Act into existence. They just moved the failure point behind it and then priced the only legal fix. Number 4, the gas your repair shop will not touch. Now, if you followed that last section, you would assume the newest refrigerators are locked down even harder. Open the back panel of anything built in the last few years, and you will find a small yellow label that reads R600A, isobutane, flammable. Here is the twist. R600A is a hydrocarbon, not an HFC, and hydrocarbons sit outside the Section 608 certification requirement entirely. On paper, for the newest machines, that legal wall just came down. Nobody is coming anyway. Isobutane is the same chemical family as lighter fluid. A household refrigerator holds 2 to 5 ounces of it, sealed in a loop behind a thin steel panel. Servicing that system properly means hydrocarbon-rated recovery equipment, a hydrocarbon-rated leak detector, intrinsically safe tools, ventilation, and an absolute rule about open flame anywhere near the work. A blazing torch and a leaking isobutane line in the same kitchen is a fire, not an inconvenience. So a small independent shop runs the arithmetic. Buy a second set of certified equipment and take on flammable gas liability in order to bid on a $400 job on a refrigerator that is already out of warranty and worth maybe $700 on a good day. They say no every time. The regulation did not lock you out of this one. The economics did. If this is the kind of teardown you want more of, subscribe. I go through one of these machines every week. Number 5. The ice maker that argues with physics. For 40 years, the ice maker lived in the freezer, which is the obvious place to put a device whose entire job is to freeze water. Then buyers wanted the French door layout, And the French door layout wanted the ice bin up in the door, inside the fresh food compartment. That compartment holds at 38 degrees, so the engineers built a duct. Cold air gets pulled off the freezer evaporator, pushed up the back wall of the cabinet, and blown into a small insulated box that has to stay below freezing while sitting inside a box that is deliberately held above freezing. The whole arrangement depends on one foam gasket separating that box from the warm, humid air around it. The gasket fails. Warm air gets in, hits the cold plate, and freezes, not into cubes, into one solid sheet across the entire assembly. Now the auger motor stalls against the ice. The fill tube frosts over and starts running water down the inside of the door and onto your floor. And the evaporator fan, the part that actually keeps your food cold, grinds itself to death against a wall of frost. Samsung has faced class action litigation over exactly this failure in its French door line. The assembly runs $200 to $400, and plenty of owners are on their second one. They compromised the cooling system so the door could look cleaner. Number 6. The repair law that walked past your kitchen. Your grandmother's refrigerator had a cold control, a mechanical thermostat with a capillary tube, about $12, and you could keep a spare in a drawer. Your refrigerator has a main control board and an inverter board, and on a growing number of models, those boards are serialized to the individual unit at the factory. The practice has a name: parts pairing. Pull a perfectly good board out of an identical refrigerator, drop it into yours, and the software refuses to recognize it. Hardware is fine, the handshake is not. And this is where it gets genuinely strange, because there are now laws about this, and whether they cover your refrigerator depends entirely on which state you are standing in. New York passed the Digital Fair Repair Act and wrote home appliances out of it. California's SB 244 does cover appliances and requires manufacturers to keep parts and documentation available for 7 years on anything priced over $100. Minnesota's law covers household appliances sold in the state since 2021. Colorado's took effect on January 1st of 2026 and bans parts pairing outright. Oregon banned parts pairing first, then delayed enforcement to 2027. Same refrigerator, same dead board, same manufacturer. Your legal right to fix it changes at the state line. That is not an oversight somebody made in a rush. Those exclusions were argued for, line by line, in state capitol buildings, by people paid to argue for them. In New York, they won. So what do you actually do with all of this? 3 things, and the first one is free. There is a federal law from 1975 called the Magnuson-Moss Warranty Act. It says a manufacturer generally cannot void your warranty because you used an independent repair shop or a third-party part, unless they hand you those parts and that service for nothing, or the Federal Trade Commission granted them a waiver. Which means those warranty void if removed stickers on the back of an appliance are, in most cases, not worth the adhesive. The FTC has sent warning letters over this and has taken enforcement action against Harley-Davidson, Weber Grills, and the manufacturer of Westinghouse generators. Call the bluff. Second, before you pay $1 toward a compressor, find the model number on the data plate inside the fresh food compartment and check it against the settlement lists. That coverage sits there whether or not anybody told you. Third, when you do replace the machine, read the data plate before you read the price tag. Top freezer. No dispenser in the door. No screen, no app, no ice maker sitting where the lettuce should be. Ask whether the compressor is rotary or linear. The dullest refrigerator on that showroom floor is the one still running in 2045. And that Whirlpool in the garage from 1998? Keep it. Somebody built that thing to be opened. I'm Rick Dawson, and there is a machine in almost every room of your house built to this same blueprint. I am going through all of them, one at a time, and the washing machine is next.